Well, it looks like it's fairly obvious the next pump and dump is coming up with silver. Like not next week, not next month, but say over the next year. And, you know, it's going to take not too long for it to go up quite a bit exponentially, just like the animal is silver. It just does that, right? But when it crashes even faster. So, what I'm seeing, though, is the one thing I've been saying, what I can't predict right, because it's something, when the Middle East really gets heated up really bad, that's when we're going to see oil and gold go up, and you'll see silver follow. And I'm talking about something more extraordinary, and you can see this going on now in Iraq. That situation's not changing. Like this is pretty much heads north of Iraq. They're moving in on Baghdad. They're going in for the biggest refinery, and I said before, the ones that really going to lose out on it is China, because that's really where Chinese oil companies are invested in, not so much the U.S. But people will still get set up like a bunch of suckers the next time again, man. So what can I tell you? You know, I'm seeing like a lot of stuff where it's talking about $100 silver in 2016, and you know, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm not buying into the $100 just yet. Like not even in 2016. Well, but depends on how fast it goes up, though. Depends on how fast it goes up. If it really rockets up from, say, late, you know, well, say like starts rocketing up, say from August, September 2014, and really rockets up into early 2015, breaks through new heights really that fast, I think it's gonna come back down. You know, say it goes up. The next Fibonacci point, main one, would be probably in the low 70s, and if it comes down again, it could be in the low 40s or maybe in the high 30s or something like that. Then you're gonna have to wait a few years for it to go up. Maybe then it could probably go up over 100. But yeah, I think the next pump and dump is getting set up. Now I mentioned something about, you know, people, you know, a few different channels copying my videos and stuff, and I'm like, you know, what I really see is going on is they're just copying everybody's junk, right? Everybody's silver videos, because they're trying to saturate the big propaganda effort out there too. Because you got to find a lot of buyers. And the ones that the buyers aren't going to be, if silver went up really fast and broke new record heights in well less than a year from now, those buyers are not going to be the Wall Street sharks. It's going to be the middle class who's going to be told the sky is falling, the U.S. debt is astronomical, the dollar's going to zero, you got to buy silver at any cost, and it's, you know, we still got some more life yet before that actually happens, I think. It may happen eventually, but I bet you it's still not around the corner yet. There's too many different things they can do. But people aren't that smart. You know, one thing I'm going to tell you, even like, you know, it just doesn't really flabbergast me, but the number of people that's still buying into this guy that is Vladimir Putin. He's some kind of KGB thug that turned into a pious Christian now. He found the error of his ways, and I'm like, and I don't know, I don't even want to, it's like arguing with plants, you know. I'm not going to even get into this stuff, but people are so sold in on it with this stuff that, well, that's just how people are naive. They're naive. So when silver goes up, you know, you're thinking, well, you know, if the mines are getting real super profitable, yeah, it can't go down again. Say it went up to over, what is that, $60? You think it can't go down? Maybe it can go higher than 60, but, you know, it sounds ludicrous talking about it, those numbers right now. But later when it goes up, it takes a life of its own, and people are going to be screaming $500, $1,000 an ounce, and oh yeah, and the majority are going to be convinced because it went up that fast. That's just what's going to happen. It's just like, you know, people are done with this Vladimir Putin guy too. Now I mentioned something about, I know it pissed off one or two people, with Barack Obama's wife Michelle, the first lady. There was this thing on YouTube that said she was transgender, and I never really paid attention to like what she looked like. I didn't think she looked like a guy, you know. But when they pointed out all the skeletal features and on YouTube. I says, you know, it was from like an ex-policeman that was dealt in that stuff or something. And I says, wow, you know, I said, probably. But there was something else that clicked in my head on that, because actually I want to say something else I was thinking about. You know, you can Google this, and it kind of dovetails into something else. Obama's nanny, you can just Google Obama's nanny transsexual on Google, and you'll see it comes up, not with the, you know, the conspiracy sites and all that stuff. It comes out on the major news media that Obama's nanny, I think when he was in Indonesia when he was growing up, was a transsexual. And you look at the rumors where Obama is like homosexual sometimes, and then you add that together with the major media mainstream source stories that Obama's nanny when he was in Indonesia was transsexual, and then you figure, you know, the birth certificate and the closed college records and where this guy come from. Is it that crazy to think that maybe Michelle Obama is a transsexual? Is it that crazy when you start adding that up? And I'm thinking now, maybe not. But say she is, say she was, or whatever she is, you know. You know, the real problem with a lot of this stuff, too, is, you know, there's got on the liberal side, or whatever the heck, I don't know if you want to call it that, they're always pushing for, yeah, you say, it was like, say she was, or a transsexual first lady, say it was, right? The liberal thing would be saying, oh, that's the great, we got the first transsexual first lady and all that, whatever the hell it is. But you know what? They're so disingenuous with this stuff, because what really would piss me off the most about with the Obamas and any of these presidents or whatever the hell they are, they're selling out the country left and right, down the road. They're like catering to the Chinese communist elite, because our elite are in cahoots with them. They're selling off all our freaking jobs. Like First Lady Michelle Obama goes over there just recently raising the, you know, waving the red flags and all this kind of crap. Like, you know, to hell with the USA. You know, they didn't want to have any kind of like media down there taking pictures of her or anything like that, because she was going to basically was making speeches that were basically praising the hell out of the communist regime. So when you're talking about, you know, rights of like transgender or gay people or whatever like that, you know, you're totally disingenuous if you're supporting the Chinese elite, because the Chinese elite don't give a shit about anybody except themselves. And once you fall out, you know, and you've seen a lot of things even recently where they had, you know, the richest man in China is going to be executed, or one of the Chinese most wealthy is going to be executed. That's because he criticized the elite. So, you know, when you're talking about the rights of all these different, you know, I don't know, it's like they're trying to dream up something, you know. I don't know what they could dream up. You know, like they could say clone the people, get you the rights of clone the people or something, I don't know. But it's almost like it's so disingenuous, because when you support the Chinese regime, the elitist regime, you're not supporting anybody's rights, period. Because anybody they find that is possibly a threat to them, they don't give a damn what they do to them. And here we got like our administrations in the White House, we're all catering up to them. And that goes all the way back. Don't matter if it's Obama, it goes back to all of them. All of them. So it's a bunch of BS, man. But, you know, I just want to point out, people are stupid. They are, man. It's like, you know, the next time silver goes up, they're going to be totally sold that silver's going up $500 an ounce right away. As soon as it breaks through 50, everybody's going to be believing, no, not everybody, a lot of people, a significant number of people are going to be believing it's going to go to 500. There's like, anytime the worst dictator in the world wants to go to church and, you know, say, oh yeah, God, I'm confessing my sins, there'll be a significant number of religious people that'll believe that the person's a good person now. And, you know, this thing with First Lady, you know, I don't even want to rag on her, because I'm going to tell you what, because I want to get in on this stuff. If you ever want to look at some of the weird stuff that goes on with the political leaders, now you might think of it as a fictional writing and you think it's a little too crazy. Look at what Kathy O'Brien wrote about. I mean, all of them, not just... I don't even know anything she even wrote about the Obamas. That was like after her time. But, you know, the Clintons, the Bush, both of them, even Ronald Reagan... I don't know, the whole bunch of Jimmy Carter, I think, I don't know, entertainment people. They're all a bunch of freaking corrupt freaks. They are. They're bad news, man, to the max. But, you know, they talk about all this, what I always say is they always talk about all this liberalism stuff, and they're not really even talking that shit. It's like they're catering to the Chinese elite to the max. So... I just want to say that, you know, and I put out that stuff with, before when I put out that stuff with Michelle Obama, I was, you know, what clicked in my mind was that other fact that, well, you know, I don't know if it's 110% fact, but it's all over the major media, and I knew about it for a few years. Obama's nanny was a transsexual. So I'm thinking, well, I don't know. He grew up with his mother figure as a transsexual, so he... Would it be crazy that he married a transsexual or something? I don't know. I mean, you know, some people getting pissed off at me like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't even know if that's a fact or not. But it doesn't seem like out of the realm of possibility. But I'm going to tell you this, like, again, they're all freaks on the top. They are screwed up. And people just, you know, in the United States, they live in their own little dream world like, oh, yeah, the president would never be that bad, or... But hey, they're that bad. They're that bad. That's why the next time you go to vote, you vote them all out, man. Don't vote for Republicans or Democrats. That's what I do. I say the hell with all of them. Screw it. Because they're all corrupt. But anyway, watch out for this next... But people are dumb, man. Watch out for this next pump and dump. You know, people are going to buy it hook, line, and sinker. The sky is falling. The dollar's going to zero. Oh, the United States is going to collapse. We got the elite on the run. The banksters don't know what to do. Yeah, watch. It'll go up. Silver, I think, when it starts taking off, it's going to take off very fast. But when it crashes, it only takes like a day or a week. So I know what I'm doing. If it starts breaking through 50, I'm going to be unloading stuff in pieces. But, like I said, I ain't going to be just holding on to cash, you know. I'll buy something with it, you know. You know, maybe I'll buy a 1935 Ford two-door, you know, with the top that comes down or something like that, you know. Some kind of custom hot rod thing or something, just for the hell of it or something. I don't know. I mean, it's better than looking at some stupid coins. At least you could drive the damn thing around, and it's a classic, and it still does its own thing, right? That's the way I look at it, right? And Obama, he can do whatever he wants. And, you know, I don't even give a shit, to tell you the truth. I don't even care. But, like I said, these liberals are so much like, you got to be like, you know, you got to be like, oh, you got to think this way. Oh, you got to think that way. You're narrow-minded, blah, blah. Well, you know what? They're all catering up to the most narrow-minded scumbags on the freaking place of the planet, which is the Chinese elite. They don't give a shit about anybody's rights. Period. Nobody. Like I said, they just executed one of the most wealthy Chinese people, and it was because, not because he did something wrong, it was because he pissed off the little elite communist clique. So when you got, you know, Michelle Obama going over there kissing up to their communist elitist asses, I'm like, she's screwed up no matter what she is. Right? Just putting it down in like real simplistic, you know, without even getting into all this crap like, oh, it's because she's transgender or something. I don't even know what the hell she is. I mean, I don't know. I saw that special and there's people getting pissed off at me, but I associated that with Obama. You look it up, just Google. Obama's nanny was a transsexual. It's all over the major media. It's not off the giddy news media. It's on the major media. It's been out on the major media for 3 years. It's not advertised all over the freaking radio and the newspapers every day. But you start adding it up. You know? Eventually, it's going to be, I don't know. But like I said, the biggest problem is these yo-yos. They're disingenuous as all hell. They're about as genuine as Vladimir Putin talking like he's going to church. And he's a good, pious Christian now. Yeah, I used to be a KGB thug. Yeah, I'm just going to be a Christian here. You know, I got my Jesus cross. And a bunch of idiots believe it. Wow. Just like, hey, silver went up over 50. 500, 1,000, sure. Right around the corner. I don't know. Do whatever you want, man. Like Burger King, have it your way. or they can have it their way. How's that? Leave you with that thought.